Hi, I'm Chris Slogar. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you can find me online at buckeyeinklings.com. If you ever see supplies that you need when viewing my videos, click on over to buckeyeinklings.com, and there is a link to my online store, and I would appreciate your business there. So the card I'm making today is a shaker card that just captures sequins and beads behind an envelope, a clear envelope. So I've used a medium clear envelope and enclosed the cardstock and the sequins to create this. I would almost call it a faux shaker because we're not building up the foam strips and a window sheet to make a container for the sequins. It's all kind of flat, but if you add some dimensional beads, you do get a good shake of the sequins. So I've made it in a couple of different colors. There's also one posted on my website that's Flirty Flamingo. This is Bermuda Bay and a Melon Mambo in black, and I've added some little sequins on the outside. There are the basic sequins, oh gosh, what do they call them? Metallic sequins in here, and I've also trimmed to go with the Bermuda Bay some of the sequins from my sequin trim that I put in there, and I also stole some of the Melon Mambo Brights sequins from that pack. Okay, so there's that. This card uses the bright sequins. Oh, and for both cards, I just happen to have these jewelry beads that I added in to my shaker as well to give it a little more dimension. Now, my inspiration for this card was on page 41 of our new 2017 Occasions catalog. Along with this stamp set, they show this card, which was my inspiration. We have a really great sequin and bead package available, again, starting today, well, the day I'm posting this, January 4th, that is just gorgeous. That goes with the, here it is, the Cool Treat Suite. These are sprinkles embellishments, and there's sequins and spheres and really cute colors for $5.50 for a pack of those beads. So I forgot to order those in my pre-order, but I was very inspired to make this anyway. And I'm not even quite sure exactly how they did it, but I came up with a good method. I made a square card. I think what they did was use the clear envelope and made a rectangular card. I'm just cutting that down and making something a little bit smaller. And I've been enjoying making envelopes to go with them. It's an easy envelope to make. I'll show you that too. Okay, so again, the stamp set is Happy Celebrations, and there are coordinating embossing folders. And one says Celebrate, one says Happy. They actually deboss the word, and I don't think you can see this here. You'll see it when I start stamping. I've run this 4 3/8 inch piece of thick Whisper White. It's a 4 3/8 inch square through the Big Shot with this embossing folder in place there. And the word Celebrate is actually debossed, so the word is lower than the surface of the card. And I found that when you see how we're going to stamp this, I found that the thick Whisper White holds up better. It has a little more structure to it than the regular Whisper White. So let me set this aside. And what you can't see there is the word Celebrate, I don't think. But I'm going to start to reveal it just by taking some of the solid stamps in the set and stamping around that debossed word. Okay, so you can see, just going to kind of randomly place dots, and I'll try to do this quickly, but this is the fun part actually. And a lot of the dots I'm stamping off first, and getting a little bit lighter look, stamping off, and then I need to rotate the stamp a bit too so it looks a little different. So you can start to see where the word is debossed, you won't get ink in that lower section of the cardstock, so the word starts to stand out. So you're just going to kind of randomly place a lot of these solid stamps. There's other shapes in the set too. I really like the dots for some reason. Okay, that was Tangerine Tango. I'm switching over now to crushed curry, and I'm going to add crushed curry spots with the other. It's a little bit larger stamp in that set. And you can see it's sort of like emboss resist because the word shines through, except you didn't have to heat emboss anything, which makes your life easier. So that's pretty good. The word is showing through, and I kind of have this random scattering of dots. I'll just set the stamps aside and go with this. So again, this is that 4 3/8 inch square, which fits perfectly then into one of our clear envelopes. And we want it to be a little bit snug so that the sequins don't get to the back side. So I've got that loaded in there, and I'm just going to grab I've got the bright sequins, so I'm going to add sequins to the envelope on top of the word there. Oh, that's probably pretty good. I'm also going to add some beads. Now, if you get that confetti pack from the Cool Treats suite, you'll already have some good dimension there, some different shapes and thicknesses to do this with. It has sequins and beads, so you won't need to add anything else. And all I'm going to do here is grab my sticky strip, and I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to take away my mat now for stamping, and I'm going to make sure that card is in there tight, and fold the envelope over right at the edge of that cardstock, and I kind of crumpled it a little bit, but that's okay. Okay, and then I'm also going to tack down the flap here. Okay, and there we have what's going to be the shaker. So super simple little shaker type. Alright, now let me get the card base. I've already cut this. The dimensions are 4.5. This is Pacific Point 4.5 by 9, and it's scored at 4.5. So we're making a square card. And all I'm going to do is, I'm going to take my fast fuse, and I want to get really good coverage to make sure this thing stays stuck down. And I'm going to get pretty close to the edge here because I know that envelope at 4 3/8 inch fits this square pretty tightly. And I want the edges to be locked down. It's just easier to put the fast fuse down on the cardstock. A little in the middle, and I'll even take off the sticky strip that I had left covered here. Now, this next step you're going to want to do pretty carefully because You see there's a lot of strong adhesives involved. And you're just going to center that. It's hard for me to do without getting in the way of the camera. Center that square. On your card front. Oh, there we have it. Okay, and press it down hard so that's all locked down. Okay, so now you have your card base, and it's already all decorated. So super simple. I'm going to take a length of crushed curry twine and tie around here around the whole card front. And let's see, on this one I'm going to add one of the party animal embellishments that are so cool. That. Alright, so we have Pacific Point party hats. That'll be a cool little embellishment. Now, if you have trouble threading through these little holes, if you pick up these dental floss threaders and use them like a needle and a thread, you can easily tie on embellishments like this. Alright, so I've also already embossed, heat embossed, because I like that look of white on the Pacific Point. So I've heat embossed this part of the greeting, which is also in that stamp set. And I'm just going to use, I love edges of dimensionals, so I'm going to pick up edges and kind of use them above and below this baker's twine and lock this greeting down. This was about a 5/8 inch strip of Pacific Point. Okay, so there you have the card. Celebrate your day, and it's just fun with the shaker elements. It's an unusual size. It's a 4.5 inch square, and very easy to make an envelope for, so I will show you that too. To figure out your dimension whenever you have a card, use the chart on the front of the envelope punch board, and I'm just looking at the 4.5 inch square card size, and it tells you that the paper size you want is 7.5 inch square, and you'll make a score line at 3 3/4 inch. So that's all you need to know. I've already cut that. I'm putting the edge of the designer paper over at 3 3/4 inches. This is a piece of the designer paper stack for Brights. And as you can see, I'm just turning and matching the pointer with every score line that I create. Okay, so at every turn I'm punching and scoring. After I did that first one, I'm just going around and punching and scoring every one. And then going to reverse punch every one of these corners. Okay, and then I'll just take my bone folder and fold in all the flaps. And a little bit of Tombow glue. Oops. Oh, there we go. Sorry about that. To lock that into place, and you have an envelope. Now, fun trim, like what I had on this Melon Mambo card, this envelope. I just used one of the labels framelit shapes, and I've got this pom-pom trim, and I just took my stapler and made a little fold and stapled that down, and then I adhered that to the envelope. So that's just a fun little trim for that envelope that kind of goes with the spotty nature of this. So again, really easy. Doesn't look so easy, but it just makes a fun interactive card using your clear envelopes. So thanks so much for checking this out, and I hope you enjoy making these. Bye-bye.